So welcome to my class tonight, which is all about why sleep is important. And I'm going to share some tips on how you can get better sleep. So let's talk about some of the things that make it important. First of all, it's essential for survival, and our body physically restores itself while we're sleeping. So your cells synthesize protein, the tissues repair themselves, growth hormones are released during your sleep. And it also may help their brain reorganize and retain memories. And it helps with that cognitive function. You'll notice if you don't get a lot of sleep, you have a lot of issues like remembering things, and that cognitive function is just not up to par. So some ways that you can see if know if you're getting enough sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, are you rested and ready to start your day? Like today, I woke up and I wasn't sleepy. Like I woke up before my alarm and I wasn't like exhausted. Whereas some days I wake up and I am just like tired automatically. So if you wake up and you're already tired, or maybe you're cranky, or throughout the day you are kind of dragging, that's a sign that maybe you didn't get enough sleep. But most adults need 6 to 9 hours in a 24-hour period. And everybody's body is a little bit different, but that's usually the range that you want to shoot for. And you may notice like less than 6 hours, forget it, you're not functioning. Or maybe you're one of those people who needs 8 hours to function at your highest potential. But only you can know that. So here are some signs that you're not getting enough sleep. You're moody, unproductive. Maybe you notice that you are gaining weight. You tend to take naps during the day, like you're very sleepy during the day. Forgetful of things, your libido is low. Maybe things will like cause you to stress easily, or maybe you will like kind of snap on somebody when normally you don't. Also try, like you have a hard time finding the right word. And you have to like constantly read things over and over, like you're not retaining the information, so you have to read it again. So those are just some signs. So sleep influences your ability to fight infectious disease. That's spelled wrong. Ability to fight infection. No, that's correct. I'm just reading it wrong. So your ability to fight infection decreases when you are not getting enough sleep. So you'll notice that if maybe you are going, and you're not getting enough sleep, some people will notice that that's when you start to get sick. Your body is like, you need to slow down, or we can't take it anymore. Memory consolidation. So like I talked about earlier, making sure that like everything, the information that you're retaining, your attention span is important for sleep, or sleep is important for attention span. Hunger. A lot of people that don't sleep, like I'm going to talk a little bit about it later, but that's a big one, is hunger. Mood, response time, and your hormones is a huge one, and increases your risk for depression if you're not getting enough sleep. So let's talk a little bit about how sleep affects your hormones. So raise your cortisol levels, and that's your stress hormone. So that's a big one. And your hormone levels control your appetite and your blood glucose levels. So when your hormones are off because of sleep, you're maybe going to want to eat more. Your blood glucose levels just are not going to be level, and you're going to be off. It increases that thyroid hormone and it lowers your leptin and causes you to feel more hungry. Whereas, and the opposite, it increases your ghrelin levels and it makes you feel more hungry. Like, so that increases the levels of ghrelin, makes you feel more hungry, and it lowers the leptin, which causes you to feel hungry, which is not good for your weight. It also increases your adrenal stress and cellular resistance to insulin. And then it lowers your testosterone levels, which is important for your libido and balancing things out. Because as females, we still, testosterone is still something that we need in our body to be balanced out. It's not just for males. So here are some tips for better sleep. So you want aim for 7 to 9 per night. I said earlier 6 to 9, but like if you're really shooting, like shoot for 7, because sometimes you might not get to sleep in time, and at least maybe you'll get around 6. You want to try and set a regular like sleep schedule, like go to sleep at the same time, try to wake up at the same time. You'll notice that if you are like, some days you wake up super early, some days you can wake up later, it's hard for your body to get used to that. So you try and train your body, that helps. Limiting your sugar intake after poor sleep. So maybe I didn't get a good night of sleep. You want to limit that sugar so that it's going to help your insulin levels. Turning off that TV or phone before you go to bed, maybe 30 minutes before, to kind of take away that screen time. Keep your room cool and ventilated. It's helpful if some people use a sleep mask, or you have like blackout curtains to make it easier for you to fall asleep. Mattress is important, whatever is most comfortable for you. And maybe create like a wind down routine, like maybe you wash your face, you brush your teeth, or you apply some, calming lotion, or maybe you take a bath before bed. Something that's going to help you get used to that. I know that this is something that I've done with my son, where I'm like, when he was younger, where like you get to that routine and you do all those things, and his body just kind of naturally knows. So like, okay, this is my time to go to sleep. I know what's happening. So that's helpful. Consider wearing like a sleep tracker so that you can kind of see. I know some Apple watches might have that. I don't sleep with my watch at night, but I know some people do, and it can track your sleep. And that way you can kind of see like your cycle and how it works. Maybe diffusing some essential oils before you go to bed. White noise machine. Trying a guided meditation or a body scan. I really like the Calm app. It's helpful to kind of turn it on and listen to it and kind of shut things out. Using your bedroom only for sleep and intercourse. So like right now I'm in my room, I have a desk in here. So like, it's easy for me to be like in my room and kind of get distracted. So having your bedroom just for sleep and for that intercourse, if you have a partner. And also helpful to keep electronics out of your room, like maybe no TV in your room. That way when you come in, it's like, okay, I'm going to sleep. So some of my favorite things that I use for sleep that can be helpful is, my number one is ImmuPro chewable tablets that Young Living has. It's a chewable, and it has 10 milligrams of melatonin in it, but it also has wolfberry and a lot of other great things for immunity. So those ones are really, really good for helping you get to sleep. Like maybe you have a trouble falling asleep. Those ones are my go-to. Sleep Essence are a little like gel tablet that has some different oils in it, and it's good for helping you fall asleep and stay asleep. MegaCal. So MegaCal has magnesium, and magnesium is something that is really, really good for helping you sleep. So that's a very good supplement. Diffusing oils. I really like to make a sleep or pillow spray. I'll use like lavender and cedarwood, and I will put it into a spray bottle with a little bit of witch hazel and fill the rest with water. And then I spray it on the pillow before bed. My son really loves it, and it's his monster spray. So it's helpful for, him also falling asleep, but then it makes him feel good about having that sprayed on his pillow. The Tranquil roller that Young Living has is amazing. It smells really good too. And I love to put that on like my wrist and behind the ears before I go into bed. And my Stay Asleep blend that I use for my son, but is really, really good for adults as well, is White Angelica, Palo Santo, and Dreamcatcher. And this is the blend that I started using. I tried a bunch of different blends, but this is the one that helped my son stay asleep throughout the night. And then other ones that are really good is tangerine and citrus. Tangerine's really good for sleep, which is, you think like, oh, it's a citrus, it might not be that like it's gonna be like refreshing and like wake me up, but it's not. It's really, really good for sleep. And then vetiver is another one that I really love for nighttime. for me, if you're going to use a diffuser, I really recommend that you kind of start like a little journal and try out different recipes that work for you. So like put the date and put which oils you put in, and then see how you feel in the morning and write it down. If you had a great night of sleep, try it again. If it keeps working, keep using it. And then if it's not working, then try a different combination. But everyone's body is different. And sometimes your body also starts to get used to it if you're using it regularly. So maybe switching it up is helpful as well. But those are my favorite things for sleep that I like to use. Are there any questions on any of the slides that I've gone over? Let's see. Let's see. All right, so if there are no questions, I do want to thank you so much for joining me live. I appreciate you being on, and I hope that you learned something tonight about why you should get some sleep. If you want to let me know in the comments how many hours of sleep you're going to shoot to get tonight or regularly, and kind of set a goal for yourself, that would be awesome and maybe helpful for yourself. But I do want to thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.